Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. It's a day, and it's some point in the day. This is fun fact number 175. Trying to remember my numbers here. And this is going to be a reading of Children of Light, chapter 16. Hope you've been following along. If you haven't, you can go back in um, my posts and do chapter 1 through chapter 15. I've read them. I haven't always read them well. Um, Good days, bad days, things like that. Sleep, lack of sleep, too much sleep, whatever. But this is Fun Fact 175. It's chapter 16, and it's called More Than What You Think, and I will need to get nerdy now on you. And not so pretty. Not so pretty. Into do some reading here, because, yeah, I haven't memorized a whole book. Not for a while, anyway. So, here we go. Nerdy. More than I can say, I find much of this too painful to comprehend, Celia said. You are not built for such emotions, Hobarth said. Celia and Othello flew the other shuttle down to Seti. She had brought all the personal items requested by the crew of the Zeus. Hamlet stayed on Zeus to communicate with Earth and the planet, and to finish any repairs the robots and Celia had not yet attempted. Hobarth, many times I have wished to be fully human. I see you walk with Ryan with smiles on your faces, and the glances without words that say so much. I long to walk and know these things, but they cannot be taught or input on a disk or a hard drive. They cannot be built into me, can they? Hogarth shook his head in the negative. The emotions, positive or negative, are held within the starian beings and are beautiful. I have more to share than what I have been taught, or what has been built into me, but know nothing of how to do so, Celia said. King Lear was confused as you are now. He still struggles with the idea of feelings, Hogarth said. But King Lear is merely a robot. I am more than that, am I not? But I am less than human. Why? Celia said with frustration and a tinge of anger. The question puzzled Hobarth. Celia was not supposed to ask such a question. A fail-safe circuit was built into her memory chips to guard against her intelligence asking such a question. The answer was provided in her memory chip through the history of how she was formed and why. But Celia wanted to know why, in a way Hobarth did not think he could explain. He did his best to explain the only way he knew how. You are mechanically sound. I see no problem. Ryan drifted in. The problem, she said. The problem, it is what humans call soul. Can a soul only be obtained through birth? Ryan asked. I don't know, answered Hobarth truthfully. Souls exist around us and among us, but is birth the only way to obtain a soul? Can a machine or artificially built human have a soul? Some people believe in this, even a stone has a soul, but those are nature made or higher power made. But a man made item, Hobarth sank deep in thought. Aren't the materials used in making Celia or King Lear or Othello from this higher power too? Or nature? Ryan asked. Yes, said Hobarth. Perhaps they have more than one soul, Ryan said. It is more like they have no soul, Hobarth said. Isn't there a way we can discover this answer? Ryan asked. You could enter and investigate in your true form, said Hogarth, now becoming curious to know the answers of the soul. I don't know about that. It scares me, Celia said. Othello rolled up. Desdemona, you can enter me, he said humorously. No, I'm okay. Investigate, said Celia. Ryan entered Celia. It was confusing inside. She was not like King Lear or Andrea. Ryan felt a definite soul or essence, but what form she could not say. It was a soul, as if asleep, that did not know it was there. In between some worlds, perhaps. How to wake the sleeping soul? Ryan had never crossed paths with such a strange problem. The computer, King Lear, seemed to have many souls buzzing, yet no soul at all. But Celia's was merely asleep. Celia's soul was not connected to the truth of her mind. To wake a sleeping soul to the reality of its own mind could prove dangerous. But then, what had she been trying to accomplish with Hogarth? He thought he knew his soul, but his soul was caught between then and now and this and that. He could not act on his true feelings because he was afraid of love. Love was a force that had damaged his soul so long ago that it was almost painful for him to admit to his true feelings. Ryan tried once more to tap into the soul of the human yet not human Celia. A startling thing happened. The soul in Celia awoke. Where have I found myself? What have I become? You're the soul of a droid. Something not quite human. A creature made by humans to imitate humans. Then I am not alive. Yes, you are. Then why have I not been born or awakened before now? The questions were difficult for Ryan to answer, but she did the best she could. She was unfamiliar with the human's way of birthing a soul. I am a Setistarian, not a human. A Starian soul exists forever. But the birth of a new soul occurs at the same time as substance. In this case, your substance was created before you were aware. Thus you slept unaware you existed. Now you are awake. What shall you do? I'm not sure. I'm very confused at this unnatural happening. Does the Creator know of such things? Adam, Atom, for those who are listening, the great light, knows all. Oh, I meant the Creator. But what does the great light think? Am I a condemned soul? The last question challenged Ryan. He did not know about this Creator, but as far as she knew, the great light would never condemn a soul. She had no idea what the great light's thoughts on the matter would be. What would the great light's judgment be upon Ryan for waking a sleeping soul in a being created from two concepts of beings? But wasn't that the concept behind transforming in a way? In a sense? Sorry. Your soul is not condemned. The judgment on your soul depends upon what you do from this moment on. I believe the great light would agree that new thoughts must be developed at the way the universe views the soul, and new understandings must arise for new life forms, such as a created life form with a newly awakened soul. My name is Celia. Yes, I am alive. I am a living life form, different from any other, yet similar. Yes, Who are you? Who am I? Ryan thought. She remembered the book Vladimir brought from Zeus. The caterpillar grinned and asked Alice the same question. Her reply was something like, Who am I? Who am I? I was quite sure when I woke up this morning, but I must have changed a billion times since then. Ryan thought that was a very wise answer from one so young. She replied to Celia's soul, I am Ryan. I am the greatest light among the Starian people on the planet Seti. But who are you? Ryan thought of when Riel had come flying through the comets and grabbed her soul. She flew with Riel across the sky to Mount Neutrino. She had laughed so hard that she sparked. Mount Neutrino was a solemn place full of voices. It had quieted her, and she felt such peace. The voices spoke to her of the past, present, and future. They had told her that when Riel was gone, she would be the greatest light. This scared her at first. She knew what a responsibility it would be, and what pain she would feel, but she took the honor graciously. She was allowed to see and float in the greatest light of all, where all things Setian were created and all Setian things return at the end of their lifespans. It was the most beautiful yet the saddest experience of her life. Riel showed her all of Seti and then returned with Ryan to the mesa. This was after Riel had returned from its first trip to Earth and other planets. Ryan remembered playing and learning her lessons with all the other new lights under Porto's clever instructions. She remembered others loving one another in the glow of light, but never feeling the need to join with others. She played with Samajas and Icarts and Nodges. She was not allowed to stand up for all Starians in the great battle against the Nomons, but did get to question any Nomons that decided to switch sides because of love. She was privately tutored by Riel. Riel once told her, Love, oh love, even an earthling's greatest gift, is oft used unwisely. But the stars and the comets and positive energy guide our fates. How can one use love unwisely? I have never seen this. It does not exist. It must not. I fear what you say. The young Ryan replied to Riel. As you should. In your world, in your mind, you do not understand the pain of love. You only know love as a healing force. Alas, poor Ryan, the fault is not in the stars, but in physical form, Riel said. Some day I will know the pain of love. That is why you tell me this now. Some day, yes. Some day you will know more than you wish to know, like me. You will know and understand things that occur time and space away. You will know things that you prefer not to know. But you are young, and it is your time to play and bask in the night, and feel the sun's rays, and laugh, and learn, and be carefree. When I am gone, so will your youth, Riel said. But we never cease to exist, unless, said Ryan. See, you are beginning to know too much already, Riel said. But I do not know how you will leave us, Ryan said. Riel snickered and said, It will run away. For love? Ryan asked. In certain terms. A love of a type of a creature I have met on my travels. A planet, a way of being. It is a great love. Have you ever loved a Starian in the glow of pure light? Ryan asked. No, but I have loved somebody. Riel's light grew dim as it said the words. The waning of Riel's light frightened Ryan to the point that the musical chords that Starians use to communicate with sounds like every horn honking at the same time on Earth sounded like every horn honking at the same time on Earth. Or a million screaming voices. What she said was, Help! Riel's light is leaving us! Help! Riel! 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 Then she screamed. Ryan had never seen a light go out or dim in such a manner. She had seen lights grow in brightness and return to their original glow. She had heard of the great battle of love and hate, but had never witnessed the destruction of light. Now she also knew her light dimmed for Hobart. She had learned the pain of love. She knew more than she had ever wished to know. She had felt the pain years before Zeus had entered the atmosphere of Seti. Riel's light had returned, and it said, "The somebody I loved is now on another plane of existence. Do not be alarmed." Riel had showed her how to create blossoms. She had shared in building Riel's town around the ancient marble structure. It explained to her that they would need the town one day. She had transformed into a Samaj and flew, but no other Samaj followed her lead. Riel told her one would come, and the Samajas would fly. She had played in the ice caves of Mount Neutrino and the ice pits at the bottom of the mountain where her home and the other Starians' homes were as well. Ariel came the next Comet Festival. She loved Ariel immediately. Riel said, "Ariel is your student and your closest confidant." Ariel and Ryan transformed into Ikarts, Nodges, Titans, Sinars, Fobbles, Gobbles, and even the notorious Tokas. They both longed to transform into Gnomons, and chatted long hours about the thought, but knew it was a deadly proposition to both Gnomon and Starion alike. They flew across the planet spreading blossoms and cactus buds. The blossoms were difficult to maintain, but the cacti thrived on Seti. Ryan had flown to the suns and moons and little beyond. The universe was merely an image from the top of Mount Neutrino in which she spirit traveled. She longed to discover the universe on the real plane. The Starions began to listen to her stories. She had saved the Najas and Ikarts from certain peril of Tokas and restored life for many failing lights and many other creatures on Seti. She gathered the lights created by their unions and deaths and made them her special lights. Riel left. She presided over all ceremonies and flew through the cosmos to gather new lights during the Comet Festival. She loved her people. She loved Seti. She missed her guide and her companion, Riel, but found other friends. She became quiet and reclusive, except for Ariel and you. She only left the ice caves to visit Mount Neutrino, to go to the ancient marble structure, or on special occasions or events. She spent most of her time creating new music, which she unleashed on special occasions. She also tried to chart Riel's path, but Riel had been careful and left her confusing thoughts behind. I am here, but there. I'm not what I once was. Riel no longer exists. She had reached the Milky Way galaxy. When she arrived at the edge, there was too much input for her to focus on Riel. Somewhere deep inside the cluster of stars chaos reigned. She felt confused and weak. It took her a long time to recover. She gave up on Riel and resumed her songs and music. Oh boy, I forgot there were songs in this chapter. I don't even remember the tunes, but we'll try. This one's called Poor Song and it's by Ryan. Stars I have been. Oh, you're not going to hear it if I sing it. I better just say it, because I am not doing it with the singing microphone. So it's called Poor Song, and I'm just going to say it. Stars I have been, dreams I have been, everything I have been. Here I am yours. I have no dreams worth giving. Here we are ours. I have no songs worth living. Now I am free to see what life measures. I have no thought of my own. I have no pleasures. This is a song not worth singing, not worth right or wrong. I was the flower, but I am not a flower. We are one in this night time of our souls, awakened to the songs of the story told. That's Poor Song. And then there's one called Quest. I'm not singing it. Love is the healing force. Love is the freeing force. The giving, living, musical force. Atom, ATOM, is our base, our root. Ice caves are homes of light. Shall we dance on moonbeams? Whisper love in the life of the universe. We are but one small planet, spinning hopelessly, peacefully unattached to anything. There is so much life, so little love in the universe. I understand now the small role, my small place in the history of comets. Porto, read the book of Riel. Show us we are not alone in our quest for beauty, truth, and love. I am, Ryan tried to tell Celia's long lost soul. I am the dream maker, the breath of love. I am Ryan, the brightest light of all starians. Thank you, Ryan, for awakening my soul, Celia's soul said. Now you must find out what and who you are. You are a unique being. There are no others of your creation here or perhaps anywhere. You have a difficult task that even I cannot imagine, for I always knew what and who I was. Good luck, Celia. I am Celia. Ryan left in her light form and traveled to Mount Neutrino to recover from the ordeal. She watched for Ilo and Quark. Memories of the past floated in front of her mind. Others' memories played in front of her mind like movies. She saw Ilo and Quark struggling up the mountain. She could not help them. She knew their purpose. She hoped they were successful. So that's the end of chapter 16, which I called More Than What You Think. If you get into Children of Water, you'll get a lot more stuff. And if you then go to Children of the Beyond, it's deeper delving into things. But the next one I'll be reading for you is chapter 17, and it's called SETI Days and SETI Nights. Hope you enjoyed that, and ciao bellas.